We have returned for the final finale. This is it. No more.
Would you say it's the final countdown?
No, I'd say it's the end of the world as we know it.
Well, it could be. There's a chance we fuck this up.
It's the Boys of Summer, the role-playing game.
All right, so for the audience benefit, what I've asked the players to do, because each of the characters get to visit 3 vistas, so I asked them each privately to message me on 2 more vistas other than their own they want to see. Now, because this is all happening at the same time, even though a PC might be experiencing certain vistas in one order, I'm going to play through them all in the same order. So if somebody, for example, chose to go to Androchiron's, they will be with Androchiron on his first visit, even though they might have done their own one first and join Androchiron's one afterwards. So I'm going to work through the ones that were selected in order. And so we'll go through. So the first one we're going to be seeing is the first vista, which was Harlock's. And Androchiron and Pierre, at some point during their journeys, both step into the viewing chamber on this ship.
I turn to look at Pierre and I say, did you also choose FSA?
I did. Did
we'll
you?
Be seeing a lot of each other.
Apparently.
I turn hands behind my back to watch whatever unfolds.
Yeah. So the woman and child notice your presence. They sort of turn. I guess there's a look of concern on their faces, not outright fear, just sort of like, there are strangers here. And the woman sort of pushes the girl to stand back, and she approaches the 2 of you. Are you here looking for my husband? Are you friends or foes?
This is his son. So I suppose he would be your stepson.
Distant relative.
Not that
Actually.
distant.
What?
But he said his whole family died.
They had a few swimmers in the bank still.
Okay. Please, do you know where he is?
From my understanding, he is neither here or there.
And he came to us. He told us that he had lost us, and now he had us again, and he could be happy. I thought we were all happy, and then he left. He said he needed to understand more about this place. He said that this wasn't real. He said that there were possibilities here yet to be explored. We've waited here for him, but he's never returned.
Unfortunately for you, you are in fact not real. An artificial paradise created to please his mind, though. I suppose his real love is knowledge and how much he thirsts for it.
No, his real love is his wife and daughter. He damns the entire universe and timeline in his search for you. Know that his love would doom everything. Although you will never see him again.
Yeah, he's left him here alone. When he could be.
He cannot bring them to reality so long as they are here, and he is also.
I will not say he was a good man. That is not
I
the
think
truth.
Androchiron just laughs.
Yeah. But he was a good man to me and to her. I'm sorry that we couldn't bring him the comfort he needed, that we couldn't be what he wanted. If you see him, will you pass on a message?
Absolutely.
Will you tell him that we're sorry for his loss, that the fact that we were for a time real to him means that he carries the truth of his family in his heart, and that he he needs to embrace that if he doesn't want to destroy everything, as you say. I don't think that he intends to burn everything down, but he was always a man of temper. Please just tell him that the part of us that came from him still cares and hopes that he finds peace one day.
I'm sure he will soon.
So if you are his son, then does that mean that the Harlock line lives on?
For now.
At least one of them is still alive.
Do you have children of your own?
Nero appears in the background, floating outside the bridge of the ship.
Not at the moment. It'll be hard pressed to say if I'll be able to continue the bloodline or not.
She sort of like beckons her daughter forward. Her name is Kaya. If you have a daughter, please consider that name as one that would carry some weight of the family that once was.
It would be my honor.
I hope you find what you're looking for in here.
I do too.
Is there anything else that we can offer you to help?
Let's just move along.
Yes, I don't believe so at the moment, but thank you for your time.
All right. You return to the mirror door to go to wherever you're going to next. All right. The next scene is Pierre and Dawn. As you both step into this Imperial Plaza, this is definitely maybe a shrine world. Like you're in a massive city. You know, your first thought might be a hive world, except for the fact that that you can see the sky. Ship fly overhead. This is clearly an important world. Much activity is going on here. People sort of move about without even really seeing. Well, I mean, they see you, but they sort of move around. They don't pay too much attention to you. But one thing you do notice is in the center of the plaza is a statue which depicts Angelique Cowles in a sort of very regal, looking off towards the stars, hand on heart, or probably making the sign of the Aquila. It's definitely a votive statue more so than there's a religious significance to the statue anyway, and indeed the plaque beneath it reads Saint Angelique, the first feet to fall in this sector.
I can see why you left this place, Lord Captain. I can't imagine waking up every day and standing beneath your mother like this.
I was always curious as to why I was never taken along with her when she went out back to the Calixis sector. Then when I found out as to reason why, was to make sure that as a ideal specimen, as a possible for whatever the order, whatever people are wanting to make sure that the whatever ideal genetics lived on.
I'll be honest with you, Lord Captain, I don't care much about your circumstance. I simply wish to know more about where you came from. After all, I will undoubtedly outlive you, and I wish to know more about my companion to help me get to this place, rather than anything else. So, if you don't mind, perhaps you can show me around and maybe help me understand why you went and became a rogue trader.
So a voice from behind the two of you says, Lord Solar? tell you about, there's a man in a priest's, like in the robes of the ecclesiarchy there. It is you, isn't it? Lord Solar Cowles. He drops to his knees. You've returned. And like a few people are starting to look over now, like this priest debasing himself, and there's murmurings going through the crowd.
This is your show, Lord Captain.
If I recall correctly, Lord Solar is like a
the highest rank a general can receive.
Yeah.
It's appointed only by the High Lords of Terror.
Right.
Obviously, for your actions in the Fringe campaign that we definitely participated in.
Yeah. As to where I came from, Don, I came from a cushy place where I had my meals came from me, whatever learning knowledge I was brought to me I wanted. But I was craving more, the adventure, the experience of the outside worlds, as to say, to travel the unknown.
You mean the Wanderlust?
Indeed.
The priest gets up. Why is it? Have you returned? Are your crusades done?
I don't think they'll ever be done.
Well, you will find that the Cowles sector is in as great a position as you left it. Greater still. This realm has flourished following your great crusade.
That is excellent to hear.
Will you be staying here? The people will be ecstatic to know that the man responsible for this sector existing has returned.
Unfortunately, not for long. As I said, my crusade goes on.
Well, your palace stands ready in any case, and he indicates towards what you had seen before is just like gigantic palatial gilded palace overlooking the city.
You really wanted for nothing, huh?
Truth be told, Don, I'm not sure what I want anymore. Obviously, this is the ideal outcome.
No.
What I really want, Don, is a tip for all of the transports I've done. No one has paid me.
For a man throwing himself into the unknown, literally, perhaps you will find a meaning at the end of the journey. After all, that's why people adventure in the first place.
The only ideal I have at the moment is forming up a force that I can help protect the Imperium, the which I've been slowly gathering.
So people that have gathered near are like starting to hear this, like, I'll join you, Lord Solar. I'll join your crusade.
I think we should be going, Don.
Lead on.
This paradise has become
Tyson.
I look back at the paradise I came from and I cringe.
So, from what you can tell, this is actually the Koronus Expanse, the world of Natharsis, where it appears to be that you have been responsible for turning the Expanse into a true sector once again, and this world is now the seat of power for the sector, for the Cowles sector.
Ultimate power.
Yeah. All right, but you happy to move on? Okay. The next scene is Androchiron and Adrian. As you step out of the mirror door onto the desert sands of this ancient and ruined fort. Set up in the fort, you can see a Regicide table. The game partly played.
I quickly move to the table, not acknowledging Adrian.
And then Adrian takes his place at the other seat, like he always has.
How you doing? What are you doing?
I will walk slowly, like at a normal pace, towards the table as well.
All right. Indeed, a robed figure steps from behind one of the crenellations of the fort and approaches the table, looking down. An interesting position of the pieces. This is a configuration rarely seen on the board.
Would it surprise you that I've heard those words before?
No, it wouldn't.
I'm told I've been given the gift of some divinity.
Is that so?
Are you who I think you are?
That depends on whether that's what you want me to be.
The person I would like you to be should have lived 10,000 years ago. Are you that man?
I don't know that I necessarily agree with your statement there. Has not the tumultuous time since then grown mankind towards its eventual destiny? Does a flock shepherded past all dangers ever truly appreciate the danger they stand in?
I would turn the power of this place to aid you in your struggle at any time. But if this is what you want, we'll destroy it.
What if you already have?
Aided you or destroyed it?
Both.
I do not have the same foresight and perspective on time as you do.
Perhaps things transpired the way they did and have and will because through the difficulties of the past, we unlock a brighter future. One who falls can return. One who stands simply is. You, Androchiron, have laid groundwork for my return in whatever capacity that may take. It may not be at a time that you see. That doesn't mean that your role in its action was not important. What you do from this point forward is, however, still important. I didn't send you here to die. I sent you here to learn. Then some of these lessons were hard, but there is still more that will be needed of you before you eventually pass from any world, let alone this world.
That is what you ask of me. I remove a small handwritten book out of my robes, and I stand from before the board and I hand the book to Adrian, and I gesture for him to sit down, and I say, "My lord, this is Adrian, Quintus Thorne. He's a big fan of yours." And I try to guide Adrian to sit down in the chair. What I've handed you are the canticles of Sister Dawn Leteinia as arranged by Androchiron.
What's the last passage in it?
The last passage is definitely, "It really hurts when you're stabbed by the divine holy blade of the blessed saint. The pain of removing it from your body after death is magnificent in its ecstasy of blood removing itself from you."
Do you play, Adrian? He indicates towards the Regicide board.
Only as a spacer's curiosity to pass the time.
What do you make of the current configuration?
I don't know that I've ever seen its like.
Yeah, give me a logic test.
Sure. Oh my god.
Nice roll, buddy.
Yeah.
He rolled an 8 for the folks at home.
So to be clear, Adrian has a logic of 20.
Yeah.
Yep. So you don't think that this is a legal configuration you could ever end up in? Like, for example, both bishops of one side are on the same color, for example, and still, like, white is getting their ass. Like, black has like 3 queens now, or whatever the equivalents are in Regicide. I have to look them up as to what actually each one means.
Sure.
But it's not an unassailable position. Like, you can look at this and say, well, at least I know what my next move would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And as you go to like sort of like touch the piece, he puts his hand on yours, and it's only at this point you like realize how much bigger his hand is than yours. Like, you always sort of just perceived it as being the same size as you, but like there's a moment where it's like you realize that your hand is dwarfed by his hand. And he says, no. Now you know the next move. You must make it out there.
Very well. Thank you for this wisdom.
I'm sorry that I won't see either of you again, but I feel that you will know that you are watched.
It'll be a long day without you, my friend. Charlie Puth begins playing in the background.
What, the Light Switch song? Jesus
No,
Christ.
from Fast and the Furious, the Paul Walker outro song.
That was him? Okay. Yeah. Did not know that.
I think Adrian tucks the book away and into his like coat or into like a pouch or something and looks to Androchiron.
Androchiron makes the sign of the Aquila to the master of mankind and then reluctantly moves along.
Yeah.
What's the sign of the equivalent? That's not that one. That's the ecclesiarchy, right?
That's the
That is the
Oh, okay.
It's the eagle wings.
Yeah, but you just don't do that. Okay, that's not.
That's heretical.
All right, Thorne, you emerge alone into the expanse of dead dawns. As you sort of enter this expanse, like you're used to, or at least you know that there'd be others here to guide you. Normally, sequentially, they'd arrive, visitors of your friends or yourself. But several of the bodies like shimmy their way to the surface, pull their way from the dead, standing up, still sporting the injuries that killed them. But each one is still you. And you return to us again.
Well, this time by choice.
Do you realize that one day your duty will be done? They indicate around these piles are not infinite.
They'll last as long as I need them to.
And when that time comes, when there is no more duty, is there reward or oblivion?
I haven't thought about it, but in all honesty, it's probably just a passing of a chalice.
Others will take up mantles, of course. We must show you something. It will be hard to see, but
Because
this
of all
challenge,
the bodies?
I see what you did there. When you finish your current challenge, this will be the next duty that awaits you. And suddenly you're no longer in this field of bodies. Instead, you are standing in a temple, in a church. Although you've never been here before, you've seen this place in pictures. This is the Holy Synod on Terra, effectively like the main temple of the God Emperor on Holy Terra. As clearly the High Ecclesiarch, a member of the High Lords of Terra, is currently giving a sermon for tens of thousands of followers who are packed into the church, and who are watching from outside, from balconies. It's there's a power to this place, that the faith that infuses this room as this sermon has been given.
Where am I in all of this?
Standing in the crowd. No one seems to be paying attention to the fact that you are, decked out in power armor with a jetpack. You're just, one of the many masses that are hearing this great congregation.
How far from the precipice am I?
From the pulpit?
Yeah.
Maybe 100 meters, but it's like through thick crowds.
I see. Okay. I will watch for some time. What is his sermon about?
So listening to it, it sounds like he refers to events that haven't transpired yet. You feel like you've got some view of the future, not overly far in the future, but he refers to things like the Cicatrix Maledictum, the fall of Cadia, things that haven't happened. But give me a common law ecclesiarchy roll at +20.
5.5.
Okay, so there is some stuff in his sermon which is, I wouldn't say it's bordering on heretical. It's more like, this is not what the way things have been done. He is the high ecclesiarch, so he can change these things, but it grates on you. So firstly, you don't recognize this high ecclesiarch. He's clearly someone who's taken over from the ecclesiarch in the time you know. But there are certain established norms within the church that have been in place since great saints like Sebastian Thor, or even the God Emperor beforehand, put them in place. And although the high ecclesiarch can expand upon the faith, the rate at which he has changed doctrine is confronting. Okay. The main thing he speaks about is the fact that the church has something called the Order Passive. So the Order Passive, which was put in place by Saint Sebastian Thor, is the concept that because the church nearly overthrew the Imperium in a civil war 4,000 years ago, that the church can never again have its own standing army. And the Sisters of Battle sort of become the de facto armed force, because the exact Order Passive said that we should never have men under arms. It's like, well, they're not men, they're women under arms, so that's okay. Except that this ecclesiarch speaks of rescinding the Order Passive, that the threat to the church is so great now that the church needs to rearm and protect itself. And this is based upon the same concept that, the Navy has the ships to get soldiers to battle, but doesn't really have its own ground forces until the Marines came along, to stop a single captain from getting delusions of grandeur and taking over a country. In the same case, the ecclesiarch runs the ships, runs the pilgrim ships, the militarum runs the armies. They need each other to work. But if you now give armies to the ecclesiarchy, they have both the means of locomotion and the men to fight. They're much harder to keep under control. And this whole thing, and he's certainly, like, something has clearly happened that has led them to this point, that the people are afraid of whatever has happened to lead in this. But they're believing, yes, definitely the answer is we need armed, militant members of the church once again to give us the strength, give us the protection we need.
So without too much context about the world state that I'm in,
yep.
Whatever this future is, how old does this gentleman look at the The speaking right now.
late 40s.
Okay.
Young for an ecclesiarch, certainly. There have been young ecclesiarchs. Like so Thor was young, Van Dyke was young. Yeah, this guy is a younger firebrand type ecclesiarch.
I'm going to turn to the person to my right, immediate right, and I will say, what year is this? Speak quickly.
It's 00241. So it's about 180 years in the future.
Okay. Who is that gentleman speaking up there?
It's the High Ecclesiarch.
What is his name?
Right. As he says the name, the sound is drowned out by an explosion above as the ceiling of the Holy Synod explodes inwards, raining debris and shattered glass down onto the crowd, which immediately start to panic. And then you hear the rattle of autogun fire as men from the crowd start shooting towards the pulpit, like, quickly Fraterus militia storm to the pulpit and pull the ecclesiarch to safety, but clearly like a massive fight is suddenly breaking out within the Holy Synod.
Okay. I will fly to the ecclesiarch, I guess. If I have my gear. I don't know if I do or not.
Yeah, you do. So your feet take flight, but when you land on a pile of bodies, and you're once again back in the mess of your own life, with your other dawns standing around you.
Why did you show me that?
Because a civil war is coming. The church will begin to tear itself apart. Unless
the answer is simple. Yeah, this is an equation that shouldn't be difficult to comprehend. I'm not sure why I have failed so much. Is it not the easiest to remove the thorn before it starts to spread pus?
Well, then you know what you must do.
Tell me, what do you know of his name? That way I can trace his lineage back and destroy any chance that he will be born.
Achilles' mother, something.
Yeah.
His name is. I mean, they give you the name. I'm looking it up, okay. But they have to Google it.
So all the dead dawns look at each other, just like. I mean, we've never thought about this. Yes, of course you haven't. That is why you are dead.
He's just the ecclesiarch, right? His name is Baldo Slist.
Slist. So I would, using my knowledge of family lineages, I would hunt down his mother and father and expunge him from the future.
If that's what you feel you must do.
Did he not target you in the wrong way?
Well, you've seen what you have to see. You can't do that from here. You must leave this place now that you know your path.
Can't say that I enjoyed my time here, but your failure is my success.
Right. You leave through the door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The next scene is the naval warship. And this is Adrian and Dawn emerging into the ship. So you sort of step out of the mirror door behind the command throne. And when you look into the command throne, it's empty. Although the officers of the deck salute Adrian. Lord Captain.
What's the ship status?
Everything's nominal. We receive reports that all hands have received the translation well. We should be in a position to launch our assault within 4 hours.
Very good. I think Adrian will look at Don.
I assume this is your future and not your past, then.
I have never been a captain of a ship before.
Hence why I assumed it was your future.
Indeed.
You seem to know an awful lot about yourself, which is a very interesting take for a companion to have. How far do you get, if you don't mind me asking? You must know.
How far do I get?
How long do you live? What is the furthest you've seen your timeline go to?
What I have seen ends when I step through the door. Sometimes I've killed Androchiron, sometimes I haven't.
Oh, well, everyone in this room has apparently killed Androchiron.
It's like an instant says, that is true, sir. I have definitely killed Androchiron.
Shit, that guy's from the future. This is a problem.
I have no more foresight. We are on our own from here on out.
That's bullshit. You literally just got done talking to the God Emperor of Mankind, who gave you foresight and said you weren't on your own.
Or maybe I haven't yet.
All right, I'll buy that.
Well, I can tell you, regardless of whatever situations we find ourselves in the next few days, hours, whatever it is, life will ultimately continue. So either we fail or we don't. But in the grand scheme of things, know this: I will still be fighting. I will most definitely outlive anything that you could potentially do here by the looks of it. But having you along for the journey has wizened me. So understanding more about you is definitely something that I've come to cherish. As for Androchiron, well, I already know his fate.
Of course. I am not a complex man, Don, but serving alongside of you has brought me some comfort in the darkness of the void. Whatever happens.
Your fate seems to have been one of, I wouldn't wish on a lot of people. It takes a lot to understand how many times you can see the end and then come back and replay it. I, for one, I don't know if you saw into my little personal bubble, but what I've yet to experience on this time around again is a mountain of myself laid bare, wounds and all. So if anyone can understand what you've been through and what you're going through and what you continue to go through, because you'll likely experience it forever, is myself. Unless this final end releases you from that, in which case that is something that I definitely wish to have happen.
Well,
in countenance to Arthur, what Arthur's posting in chat, by the way, you do see on the chair of the command throne a pict displaying Adrian with in civilian clothing, Henriette Insomnia, and a child, like an infant.
Yeah.
Of course, it's Dawn's baby. They're just taking care of it while she's out of town.
It's one of the many corpses in my pile, you know.
Let us continue on so that we can make these futures a reality.
They already are. Whether or not you're freed from this is going to be the exception, I think.
All right. Androchiron, Pierre, and Lee enter the strategium of this beautifully appointed void ship. Bridge crews are working furiously around, but they sort of look at, and there's that sort of, nobody seems to know who you are, but that doesn't seem to stop them from doing what their job is. Well, at least they recognize Leith anyway, and she sort of signals them, and they ignore her. The group of you will continue working on their positions. I thought you might come here, at least one of you anyway.
You do what you had to do?
So yeah, she looks fucked up too. She has been cut with blades all over. Her ballistic body glove has got several scars. She's bleeding in multiple places, and but she looks like she's got a shitty inkling, like she's finished her mission.
Aren't you going to kill yourself at the end of that?
I've still got one more vista to go to. I thought you might come here. I without FSA being here, sorry, Evangeline, it's probably not that clear, but this is, I think, what broke her. She learned here that it was her, what is it here, destiny to take over Harlock's line, to merge the Cowles and Harlock lines together, take on this ship, the Spear of Destiny. And that put her at odds with the Inquisition. The Inquisition, which feared Cowles' line, or sorry, feared Harlock's line. In this future, she is considered a renegade, a heretic. She was a pure person up until this point. But I think when she saw this, when the opportunity existed to trap the demon by sacrificing herself here, I think this was when she lost the will to live, when she realized that to succeed and to live was to make her become what she hated. And in the end, that's what happened anyway, but this is where it all started, in this vista. And people at a crew yelling out inquisitorial ship coming about. They're ordering their guns to fire upon the black ship.
Should we be here for this? Doesn't seem like it will end well.
I think you've learned all that you need to learn in this place.
Okay, so I turn to the.
Is Evangeline still there, or wait, does she?
No, she's not here because she's not in here.
Oh, okay.
Because we killed her.
Yeah. Put her back to the warp.
Well, Captain, you're looking well. Good luck on your final visit.
All right,
I think what Pierre's going to do actually is go up to the command deck and see if he can activate the self-destruct sequence to the ship.
Sure. Yeah. People start to panic and run around what are you doing? But you don't get the impression
override.
That. Yeah.
I believe it's time to start letting go.
All right. Lee makes a sign of the Aquila to you all.
Is there anything you have to say, Lee? This will be the last time we speak.
I have nothing else to say.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye, Felicia.
She steps through the mirror door to her fate.
Step through the mirror door.
Do to yours. Okay. And the final scene. Adrian alone steps out onto a plateau of a mountain fortress. Interesting.
Yeah. Interesting, Adrian. Interesting. Very well.
The door of the fortress cranks open. You see a number of servants, sort of pushing the heavy mechanism to move the door, and standing beyond there is a white scarred space marine in his full battle plate. From what little you know of their order, he bears some specific rank or some title? Just so you can tell by the decorations on his uniform, he's not just any rank and file guy. I
Hello.
greet you. Very few make the journey to what's it called? To Quanju.
Yes, I was curious about this place.
You have come here seeking Kerabish.
Yes, I have.
You are welcome to enter for the time that you stay. You come in, they close the door.
Mm.
Do you have news of Kerabish? He came here before, but then left before we could enact the rites he was promised.
I do not, other than to say that their duty is done.
Yeah, I will tell you that Lee told you she killed Bish to try and close the. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. They made a sacrifice in the name of the Emperor to protect the galaxy from a great evil.
We will record Kerabish's name in our annals. What is your name, warrior, that you bring us this news?
I am Adrian Quintus Thorne.
I am Cantau, master of recruits here on Shogoris. He extends like a meaty fist to you.
Yeah, Adrian will shake it.
All right. As you do, he turns your hand up, so your wrist is up, and you realize there's this like red welt on your hand where the other man's hand touched yours when you went to reach for the piece.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's almost like a port wine stain almost.
Okay, yeah.
You had been touched by power, Adrian Quintus Thorne.
I have.
A man of great destiny.
Perhaps.
You have served the warriors of Chogoris today, but I sense you have places to be.
My journey is not yet over.
He gives you a Roman salute.
Adrian will give him a naval.
Secret handshake.
Fleet does the flying, and mine does the dying.
All right, and all of you emerge through the same mirror door onto a swampy ground. They're effectively, imagine like a small dirt island in the middle of like a thick swamp, and in the middle of this island is the black stone pillars and arch, which seem it's like the mirror door is like a tear in space and it's trying to close itself, but the arches themselves are holding it at the edges as energy crackles off it. You hear the sounds of distant predatory animals. Looking up, you see that the moon is full, although it appears that a dark shape is moving across the moon. When you look at your chrono, Pondo, you would say it's as many 13ths across the moon as has passed on your chrono since you first entered the Blind Tesseract. But on the 13th hour, the moon will be eclipsed.
Okay. So we need to destroy this thing now. Okay. All right. Well, I guess the first thing we try is to.
Do you say anything, or you just you look at each other and just start opening fire?
Yeah, no. I mean, it's time is running out. It's going to be okay. We need to hurry up and figure out a way to destroy this thing.
I close my eyes and open my warp eyes.
Yep. So
I believe we need to be on the other side first.
We are in the other
before
side.
we destroy.
We are on the other side.
Yeah, so you're all on the outside of it right now.
Yeah. We just got to get the timing down to take out Erasmus at exactly 13 o'clock.
No, anytime between now and 13 o'clock.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, because he's part way through.
It is almost 13 o'clock is the issue.
So is there a keystone at the top of this archway?
It is. It does appear to be a part of the arch as a keystone. Yes.
Anything warpy?
Yeah. So the whole arch is covered in warp power.
Can I deny the witch it?
Give me a willpower test.
Is it demonic?
It's not demonic, no.
Okay. I rolled another fucking 100! Unbelievable!
Just re-roll it.
Fine. I will.
Hey, if
roll
this
it.
was a demon where the roles were reversed, that would have been awesome.
I know. I got a bookend my. I almost don't want to do it because I want to go out with a 1 and a 100 at the beginning and the end. But let's do it. Let's do it. 1.3 degrees of success. It's
Okay.
not that good.
So you force, you use your will to try and force the warp to a part of it to bend to your will. Effectively, although you know you can, it would require continual ritual use of this sort of power, probably with the assistance of other psychers. Like you're powerful, but you don't have the ability to on your own.
Yeah, I need a course.
Defeat this in the time that you've got, basically.
Psionic
What if we
energy is
help?
not the answer here.
I would take a logic check from Radio again. It's going to be at -10, except for Spoon, who'll be at +20
That's the
Why
one.
does
Negative
Spoon have
10?
the answer?
because he got the success before.
I
I
Adrian,
will
I hope
spend-
you can do
roll.
this.
I will spend a fate point to boost my success.
I'll also give him a +10. I haven't used it in so long.
I will. This is important. I will stand back and let my companions solve
Okay,
the problem.
So the pillars themselves are made of apparently indestructible stone. You know, you've got melted weapons, you've got bombs, etc. But at the end of the day, they are sitting in a mountain of
Ground.
dirt.
Yep.
That
Okay.
perhaps with a mere shovel, you could realign or disturb the alignment of these stones.
How does dirt react to melt a fire?
Probably turns to glass.
I wouldn't like that. Yeah, let's plant some explosives near the dirt or near the supports of the pillar. or
Does
one of
anyone
them.
have explosives on them?
I got a crack grenade. I have a bunch of weapons that can explode.
How big are the pillars, by the way?
Just attach a particle and hold the trigger down. Now, how big are the pillars? They're probably about a foot square, like on each axis, and then they stand probably about 8 feet tall and arc over the top of this man-sized doorway.
Okay.
Actually, question.
Just with a quick inspection, how deep would the pillars seem to be in the ground?
Well, Androchiron can tell you with his warp vision, they go about 2 feet below the ground.
Okay.
We have to get 2 feet down and we have to do it quickly. We're either digging or we're blowing it up.
Blow up first, then dig.
Why has the turn order appeared?
Other question is, can we overload the reactor in our power armor to
Sure.
cause an explosion as well?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Listen, I want you to understand you are solely responsible for dealing with the Magoses after this.
I think Adrian just with his double power fist hands just starts scooping out
Thank
dirt.
you.
Okay. All right. The moon above with the cross, there's a sort of balefulness looking down upon you from the sky as this dark star is moving across the surface of the moon. At that point, each of you, anyone has still got fate points. Oh, sorry, I should say Oswald has come out too, by the way. Not Lee, but Oswald's come out. Oswald came out looking like someone's just kicked his dog, like he's been clearly crying.
Man, who did he go to?
To the room with the cot.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously himself, but where was his other two?
Well, you can
We'll
ask him
find
later
out
on.
if he lives.
So all four of you, do all four of you still have any fate points? Not unspent fate points. You've actually got some. No one's at 0 fate, are they?
Correct.
No,
I saw
I have
one.
2
Okay.
fate points.
Okay, all of you are forced to burn 1 fate point.
Right.
Okay.
But
So
those can
Oswald
be from
dies.
our unspent one.
If
Right.
they can be points you've already spent, if you like. Yeah, you've effectively you're reducing your maximum by 1, but your remaining to be spent still available. as like effectively some fate is pulled out of you, and the four components of fate coalesce into previously fated individuals that you have defeated, which I'm going to add into the turn order. So the first one is
now we have to
Link.
face all the bosses we've ever fought, but we have to fight them at the same time in a boss rush stage.
The 900 million corpses of Dawn.
The Orc Warlord.
Oh God, Nero's not here to kill him in one turn.
Right? It's going to be a real
I was the one who
problem.
killed him.
Mother Echo, the heretic sister from the chapel.
Go ahead and just fucking kill us, James. You don't need to go through all this song and dance. We could just explode.
Robeck the Twisted, the Iron Warriors warp smith.
Yeah, the one we shot with Lucky 13.
and Yaura, the succubus from
the world that we picked up. What's her name at? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to anticipate what you're going to ask. So
the Orc War boss is the one that I soloed that missed me barely. That would have just thrown me in twine.
When we were down in the dump in the underground, and you're like, I'm just going to stand here and shoot this orc for some reason.
No, we were in
you do outnumber them 5-4 though. So,
well, they're going to tear poor Oswald apart.
I'll be right back before we start this fight.
All right.
Oswald, continue to dig.
Just this isn't the point where you have crackshot aim all of a sudden. All right.
One's 12. Adrian is 12.
Jeez, Adrian, fucking.
Oh, Arthur, the one time you don't spend a fate point, you end up going last.
If I spend a fate point, I won't have any.
That's true. I need to roll for them. So
if I kill Androchiron again, does all the bosses die? Like, what's going on here?
I'm wondering if these are illusions, and this is the last play of each.
Well, I guess it's part of the Tyrant Star, because I think that's what's occurring with the eclipse.
Well, they're clearly not here because we've killed them before. So
they all burned a fate point when they died, so they could come back in some capacity.
Well, hard to argue with that.
Well, in that case, where's my fucking Marine? You know.
He'd already burned his. He had to burn his fate point previously. He already had.
Does Nero's arm show up as well? Like,
don't worry about Nero's arm. Nero's arm. The fate of Nero's arm will be resolved this session.
Yeah, but
he still has his arm.
But all of the versions of his arm that weren't saved by Dawn shows up and fights us. You know, so. Each one holding a bolter.
This is when Nero pops in from a Doctor Strange portal with his heavy bolter and man-portable las cannon strapped on his shoulder.
I think I would rather have my unlimited army of Dawn zombies show up, actually. That'd be cool, too.
Honestly, you could just outweigh them, just pile them on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
What? Who has the 21?
No, that was a mistake because a natural energy doesn't apply to initiative, so she's only got 16, not 21, not 30. Sorry.
And of course, we don't have our super assassin who offed herself real quick.
Okay, explain to me why she did that. Like, what was the purpose of that?
Why she killed herself?
Yeah.
So because she is corrupted by chaos, even though she's like cleansed all corruption, she still had mutation. And she believes she's only still alive, so she could end the mistake of not killing Sebastian Railthorn in the first place.
But what did Sebastian Railthorn ever do to her?
Apparently not die. So.
Yeah. All right, so, and the Aura, surprisingly, the succubus is going first. So I think that she's definitely got it in for Dawn. So she is going to charge. She's going to charge Dawn. She's not doing a called charge attack. It's just going to be a straight up charging attack with her razor flail.
Oh, is this the girl that was like in the arena?
Yep. Okay, 5.5 degrees. You want to dodge, parry, or otherwise avoid?
What's the weapon made out of?
It is it's flexible. It can't be parried. It can only be dodged.
Okay.
It's effectively like like the swords that could become a whip. Like Ivy from what it's called,
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur style. Yeah. Okay, that will be a hit.
I think I get to do it twice, right? Step aside.
You can dodge 2 attacks. You can't dodge the same attack multiple times. Because you got to step aside.
I think the bride.
Now this is the one that like poisons you, right?
Only if she does a call a shot with it, which she hasn't.
Okay,
She charged this turn.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All right then. I'll take it.
Okay, so this is 15 to your leg, pen 2.
15 to the leg, pen 2. So okay, so it doesn't hurt me because I got 16 armor.
Yep.
So actually it'd be 1 damage, yeah. Yeah, 16 minus with pen 2. So
Yeah, 40
that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Oswald. He continue to dig,
Yep.
or do you want to fight? So yeah, he's got it. He's Imperial Guard, right? He has his
Regiment Primer. He has his entrenchment tool.
He has the entrenchment tool. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
If he was Death Corps of Krieg, he would have had that whole dig up and a whole trench along with that.
Yeah, we'd be looking at revetments of artillery bunkers and.
Yeah. All right. He is digging. Dawn. There's a succubus in your face attempting to fuck up your shit.
Oh yeah. Let's do 3 attacks, I think, James.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is my bonus here?
Are you frenzying?
Sure, why not?
Plus 20 for that. You get plus 10 for being best quality. You're not charging, so I think it's just going to be plus 30.
Plus 30.
She's regular sized.
Now, it's worth pointing out, I never add the strength bonus that my armor's supposed to have.
That's the damage, though, not to hit.
Yeah.
7.5. Oh, she better try and dodge that.
And Emperor's Wrath, maybe?
Yeah, she does dodge because it's 7 degrees.
It's not Emperor's Wrath. It's the second set.
Okay, next attack.
Oh, she dodged it barely. Okay, I see. Does she have multiple dodges? Okay, well, just...
Okay, let's see if she can pull that shit off again. No, okay, you hit her. 24 damage, pen 4.
Sanctified.
Sanctified. Well, she's still got demonic armor anyway. Yeah, she dies for the second time. She's one of those ones where if you hit her, she's dead.
That's right, because it was the pain was the hitter.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
be gone.
Yeah.
92 dodge. All right, she's out. Okay, Adrian.
Adrian will continue to dig.
Okay, please give me a strength test.
Okay.
I'm going to give you plus 20 for power fists.
I'm going to call you Rebecca going forward, Adrian.
I will spend a fate point to reroll that.
Nice. Okay. The pillars are now misaligned by 10 degrees, but the door is
still open.
Pierre.
So none of them are on me yet.
Not yet, no.
Okay. I don't want to fully engage yet.
I think that's the first time you've hurt me in a long time.
Take out my 2 melta pistols and take shots at the what's his name? Rebecca Twisted, the
warpsmith. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll attempt to take him out. Do I get a bonus? He's not hulking or anything, right?
He is, but because he's got Space Marine traits, you don't get the bonus for attacking hulking when he's hulking.
Right. I was making sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Burner pistols, I haven't used you in so long. First one.
That's a miss.
It would hit. Now I would get Emperor's Wrath if it did. Is it worth it? Maybe. Just maybe. I'll try re-rolling it.
Hey, look, the girl that I attacked had nothing in her, so,
Well,
maybe this guy's the same thing.
He has a little bit more into him.
Yeah, but it might just be like an illusion or whatever, right? So.
Second one. That's a miss. Okay, well, that was worth. I guess I'll put him away and get ready my war scythe.
Okay, no worries. Noskit Grot Stomper definitely goes after Pondo.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
Okay, he charges at you with his power claw.
That seems familiar.
Yeah, all right. So it's power, but it's unwieldy. Oh, it's fixed dodging. So. That is a miss. He will fate point that one.
They have fate. Oh yeah, because they took our fate.
That's
So
interesting.
I will definitely dodge that or attempt to dodge that
Okay.
because I feel like if I remember correctly, you said he does a lot of damage.
He is capable of doing substantial damage.
I will put a fate point to make sure that dodges.
Okay.
I'm at
I'll
0
do that.
now, so we'll see what happens.
Okay. Mother Echo. She is going to throw warp fire at Androchiron.
Deny the witch.
It's not a spell. It's just it's like a flame of hand.
Guess I'll die.
So give me an agility test to dodge it.
I have a 30 agility. Feeling confident about this one.
Yeah, you're out of there.
I didn't
Just
even
like
roll
my
dodge.
logic, baby.
All you gotta do is roll real good, right?
And she hasn't got Cleanse and Purify. So,
God.
all right. Robic the Twisted. We'll go after Adrian.
That seems fair.
I mean, I did shoot him with my gun cutter, so
Yeah, that's it. All right. He will. Okay, well, he gets a whole bunch of stuff. So, all right. He's going to two weapon. He's going to attack you with a Legion Power Axe, in which case he gets a free attack with his Mechatendril Blades and Claws.
Let me
And
just
we'll
let me throw
also-
this at you though. If he misses, he helps dig.
and we'll also bolt pistol you with his other hand.
All I'm hearing is explosive hitting the ground.
Okay, so
But if he hits, he pushes dirt back in the hole.
No, if he
With his
hits, it's
dead
going to
hand.
cut Adrian in half.
bolt pistol misses. Okay, the power axe thing is a hit.
I will attempt to dodge.
Okay. You do. And then the Mechatendrils is a miss. Androchiron.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and unfettered use Storm of Force.
Okay. Unfettered or push?
Unfettered. Don't try to tempt me into pushing. What are you, a fucking witch?
Technically speaking, yes.
As a matter of fact,
Anything I need to know before I start rolling for unfettered?
No?
We'll find out if we
Uh,
explode afterwards, is what we was saying.
I mean, I've already killed you once. What harm could go wrong killing you again?
And
That
then
was
my,
an interesting power move, to be honest. That
my bonus to this is 5 for every point of psi rating I have.
Yeah, sorry,
I
yeah,
get a
that's right.
35 bonus.
So,
Seven.
Pondo, it probably would have been better if I just attacked
No doubles.
normally. Right?
yeah, I don't deny that, but it was
Okay.
funny when it happened.
So it's successfully cast.
Do I get the thingy? The bad things happen?
No, because you didn't roll doubles.
Okay. I just didn't know if,
Don't you know the system, Arthur?
You know, James, I thought I did. But then every fucking time I rolled for psychic power while fettered, you were like, roll unfettered anyway. And I was like, what? Don't I know the system? Maybe you should stop fucking with the system. Now I'm questioning everything I know.
You finished?
I'll be finished in a second. Okay, so now I have to make a challenging willpower test to hit each of my targets. I have enough to hit all of them.
Okay.
Are any of them demons?
Yes, Mother Echo classifies as a demon.
All right, I'm gonna start with her, just in case I
Okay.
miss. All right, this can be dodged regularly.
Okay. She's a dodge of 22. She's not dodging that.
Not with that sort of.
This is for Orc guy. Who's left?
Robeck the Twisted.
All right.
The Orc guy will attempt to dodge that.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Nope. He will fate point that.
Didn't you already use his fate point?
He has more than one fate point.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he does dodge. So he dodges. So the Orc does dodge. Robeck the Twisted, I think, will probably.
Something tells me, Pondo, that they have 4 as a group, most likely.
That'd be unfortunate.
Or 4 each, if James wanted to really
He will
kill
attempt
us.
to dodge as well. There's not much.
Look, guys, you just got to hit them real hard. And they die,
you got Robeck the Twisted with 2 net degrees. Is that if the net degrees matter?
I would like to Emperor's Fury.
Emperor's Wrath.
Yeah.
Yes. It doesn't require a hit roll though, so there's no. You can't.
This is what I have to make these challenging hit rolls.
Oh, okay. That's I see. Okay.
I have to make these in order to hit, and I do.
All right, no worries.
Okay, so I hit for 41 impact damage.
Yeah. Is it the same damage per person, or
yes?
Okay.
2d10 plus 3 times my psi rating. So
okay, so
This is what you've been hiding just because you're scared.
I've used this power like 3
19.
times before and wiped the whole fucking field out.
That's true.
Okay.
I think the first time I used it was on like weird Psyker World versus the spirit things, and they were like, here's one big bad guy and like bunch of small bad guys, and I was just like, here, don't worry, I'll handle all the small bad guys, I'll fucking wipe the field every single round. And you guys are like, thanks, we'll go kill the big guy. And I was just like, yeah, it's fine, I'll keep smashing him into the ground.
Okay, so that will kill Mother Echo, and she will split into 2 blue horrors.
Way to fuck me over one more time, James, just right out of the grave.
Okay, and you hurt Robeck.
All
right. Next up is
41 points damage to go. Yeah, he's hurt.
okay. Oswald will attempt to dig. No, okay. He's digging. He's throwing dirt back into Spoon's hole.
Are they like next to each other, like digging into each other's holes?
You know
I've
what?
been
The
trying
man's
to make
probably
this boy a man since episode 1, and now he fails us. Why?
he probably saw how
Why?
depressing his life is going to be.
Yeah. He has 1 fate point. He's going to fate point this because he doesn't want to fail that badly. Come on. No, still he doesn't. It doesn't make it any worse, but not any better either. All right, Dawn.
Who's the closest? And can I get a full attack on them if they're close enough?
Look, I mean, I'd say you guys are all together, so I'd say that any of them. So the blue horrors, Robeck or Nosgit are all within melee range.
I'm gonna do the one. Wait, which one's the one on Big Adrian?
Robeck the Twisted, the Iron Warriors, Warpsmith.
Yeah, I'm gonna take him and take his attention away from Adrian. Yeah, if he's gonna keep digging. So.
Yep.
And you said this is a full attack.
Full attack. Yep.
Okay, 30. That's 1.
Okay, that will hit. So he can't dodge. He's already dodged his turn. He hasn't got to step aside.
Mm-hmm.
So he will take 20 off that. So he takes 4.
And this is sanctified as well.
He's not.
I don't know if that helps.
Not
and it's pen 4 as well. So
He's just a fucking tank.
Yeah.
Like we had to shoot this dude with vehicle weapons.
Okay, and last one. Okay. He's looking about half killed so far.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He's bloodied. There you go. I'll say he's bloodied. In
Excellent.
D&D terms. Adrian.
Dicky hole.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
Roll 100.
Yep, I will spend a fate point to re-roll that.
What is this night with these ones and hundreds?
Down to 1 left.
I mean, it's appropriate, but come on.
There we go.
There we go. Okay. They are now misaligned 20 degrees. But
Door's still
the
open,
door's still
though?
open. Yep, that's right. Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and lightning attack the orc boss.
Okay.
Does he give a bonus for his size?
He does. He is he massive? No, he's hulking, so he's plus 10.
Okay. First one. I'll hit with pin 9, 18 damage,
Right.
ignoring 1 level of unnatural toughness.
Has he got natural toughness? He does. So you will be removing that by, and what's your pin 9? So let's be his toughness then, I guess.
Oh, I suppose you should add 3 extra points of damage for my strength bonus that I haven't been adding to the rolls, by the way, James.
It does it automatically.
No, it doesn't.
No.
It goes up when he frenzies.
Oh, that's right.
It's frenzies, and when I'm wearing the armor, so it should go up by 6 then, I guess, right? So yeah.
That's double ones. That's unfortunate. Okay. 15 damage, pin 9, ignoring 1 level unnatural toughness.
Okay, so it will be 10. Okay.
1 more. Hit 25.
That's much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely bloodied now.
That's it. I wish he was worse, but I rolled crap on damage. Okay.
Him. Yeah, he is definitely not happy that he's been whacked hard by you. So he is
But
going
before
to...
he attempts to kill me, I want to have Oswald take a +10 to dig faster.
Okay, nice. All right. All right, he is definitely going to attempt to power claw you again.
Fair enough.
He's going to all-out attack this time because you've made him angry.
That sounds good.
As Piccolo would say, dodge.
Shit, that's going to hurt a lot. Okay.
Don't forget, you've got your power
field.
field that you could roll.
Yeah. I'll attempt to dodge.
Okay.
I have to roll really high, but nope. Okay.
Not high enough. All right, we'll roll your field now.
The under 30. I got it. Okay.
There you go. Okay. You managed to avoid 23 damage.
What, pin 9 or pin?
It's hard to tell because they fucking they changed the sheets now, so the pen is like mixed in with something else.
Really?
Yeah, it's now. Yeah,
Do you have the same sheets as player characters?
Yeah. For some reason now in this resolution, I don't know. Anyway. Okay, the 2 blue horrors will both go after they charge gibbering at Androchiron, attempting to claw him. So first one, the double teaming is a miss. Second one is a miss. Okay, Robeck the Twisted. Yeah, so you're distracted from Adrian, so he's going to go after Thorne.
Are you not entertained?
Yep, he's going to do the same as before. So, bolt pistol first is a hit, unless you want to dodge.
Yeah, I'll dodge that. It's a bolt pistol, right? So it's like a 50 cal. So I will dodge.
It's more
You
of
do.
like a.
Let's go.
Okay, then his axe,
It's more of a
Which
rocket
misses.
propelled shotgun.
then his mechadendrites, which he misses.
This guy definitely
Alright.
doesn't hit very well, but he's just very tanky.
He's got 55 and 65. He's just rolling poorly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Androchiron.
So, here's the thing. Androchiron can hold on to Storm of Force and can
Yep.
use it again without having to recast it. He just needs to make the attack rolls.
Yep.
But I want to do some real cringy shit on our last combat.
Okay.
So he
it
closes
Dawn?
his eyes again and just uses his warp sight to target. And like he straightens himself up, straightens his robes. He's like desperately ducking back. Well, I guess he straightens his power armor, ducking back from these horrifying monsters. And then he turns out to look at one and says, "Today I met the master of mankind. He sent me here with a message for you. I'm attacking the darkness." And I fire about a bunch of magic missiles.
Okay.
Because that's what the spell is. It's a storm of force bolts.
I love the idea that Dawn literally came from a mountain of piled corpses of herself, and Androchiron is more edgy than she is.
Blue Demon 1 is a miss. Blue Demon 2 is also a miss.
That's what you get.
The collective eye roll of the entire battlefield can be felt.
Nazgit, Mother Echo's dead, right?
Yeah, Mother Echo.
Okay,
Yeah.
and Robeck the Twisted. Okay, so it just hit Nazgit.
Yeah, he can't dodge because he all out attacked.
Okay.
Oh, that means I shouldn't have been able to dodge that last one if that's the case.
No, he
No.
used a.
It's a
he had
special
himself
action
a
which
plus
gives
20.
you bonus to hit, but at the penalty of not being able to dodge. Not using multiple attacks. That's different.
Oh, okay. The full attack and all out attack are different.
Yeah,
okay.
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, that is enough to kill him. Is it? I think it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, he dies.
Yeah, someone who already died twice this session. I agree.
Yeah.
He's dead.
And by the way, when these things die, they just vanish into the ether. They don't leave bodies that can be looted. You've already looted them before.
I already have his power claw and
Yeah, that's right.
You kill him with
and his
his
peg
loot.
leg.
Oswald Diggs with +10.
Come on, Oswald.
And he gets so when he gets to 30 degrees, which he does with his entrenching tool, there's a flash of light brighter than Dawn's conversion field as the doorway collapses on itself, leading to a scream of rage that punches out through the Ethereum, and you sort of get this vague, especially you, Androchiron, so being able to see using your warp sense right now, sort of see this black hole or void form where the entrance to the mirror gate was, as the tesseract within collapses in on itself, and an energy blast bursts out, knocking you all to your feet. When you do come around, there's no sign of the enemies. There's no sign of a dark star covering the moon. Everything now appears to be quiet except for the sounds of the various predaceous animals on this death world.
We did it.
I take a second to draw some stabilizing runes on the ground. To cast Invocation.
Okay.
I barely succeed. I crawl across that line with the 0 degrees of success.
Is any worry about the fact that Androchiron is in the process of casting a power right now?
Is that unusual? Because I don't know too much about what's happening right now. So, is it would it be something that I would have is it heretical? I guess
I don't get the impression he's casting heretical power. I don't know if he's playing to suddenly force storm the whole group because only he can live. I don't know.
I'm just calmly using my staff in order to invoke power, which you've seen me do many times.
This is when Adrian was like, and power fist.
No,
now's your time. It's permanent now if you kill me.
Yep, correct. No, I do not. I do not kill Androchiron.
I was expecting something a little more
Climatic?
Yes. Considering this is the final leg of the journey, right? This is what has driven you from your home. Oh, yes.
Well, we went to the climax. Fought a Demon Prince that was my sister. Went through multiple journeys into the foresight and possible futures. Come out here to hastily dig out this archway to close the portal and fight past foes that we've faced before and killed.
So what did it look like to everyone else when this thing went down? Because to Androchiron, it was like,
I mean, you were all blinded by the blast of light. Think of like your typical sort of, plane effect as like, an energy pulse goes out on a plane from where it struck, knocking everybody off their feet, but he only saw the sort of the black hole of it because he could see the warp side of things.
Mhm.
But for the rest of you, it was like a powerful explosion of light.
Yeah.
So what you doing there, Androchiron?
Saving our lives real quick. I'm gonna spend my last fate point to reroll that. Okay. James.
Yep.
I have successfully sent a astropathic message to all nearby systems encoded in astropathic cipher.
Yep.
Requesting the message be retransmitted to through Choir Network to the fleet of Pierre Cowles as best stands. Message reads, Lord Captain on the planet Dusk requires immediate pickup, will await you.
Don't we have like a teleportation
That
thing
ship
or something?
is on the other side of the segmentum.
Okay, so they have to be reasonably close for that stuff to work.
It's going to
Yep.
be weeks to months before they get here.
Like the teleport Homer is, I think you have to be in orbit.
Yeah.
For us to be able to use it, like the ship would have to be in orbit of this planet, which it is not.
I'm calling for help.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There is a populace on Dusk that will eventually, you'll be able to find a tribe and sit with them until help arrives. Dusk doesn't have much of exports except for its drugs. So effectively, you have to wait a bit, but you are safely picked up.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. I forgot Dawn's a drug fiend.
I mean, she's been huffing spice to get angry.
And you are saved. The forces on Mara were able to defeat the Iron Warriors that were there. Maybe with some losses, we'll work that in a moment. But it seems that you have done what you set out to do, and that is to end the threat of the Blind Tesseract, by extension, the Enslavers, Harlock, and at least waylay the threat of the Marionette, who has lost access to the power of the Blind Tesseract, which she sought.
And has also been banished back to the warp for
Until it takes her
years.
to regenerate herself to be able to, get a body again. So what I would like, I'm going to start off this one with Adrian. I would like you to just give me a scene, an epilogue scene for Adrian. It can be hours, minutes, years later. It can be related to what you saw. It could be not, but something that gives us an idea about what does Adrian's life look like in the future, having done what he's done today.
I mean, I think it's it's like a pinning ceremony. So he's in his naval uniform in front of like a board of admirals, getting his captain's rank. Like the whole Pierre's there, having sponsored him to be raised to this position, and he goes on to become like a commander of ships in the Koronus Expanse, or like the Koronus Expanse or the Calixis sector, either one.
All right, so we see Adrian as a master and commander within the Navy.
Yep.
As was how the Tesseract perceived his destiny, rewarded for his service with a commission once more. All right, Arthur, what does Androchiron's future hold for him?
He has already passed along the Tentacles of Androchiron, so he has but 2 tasks remaining. The first of which is to send a message to the High Lords of Terra, encrypted in whatever inquisitorial sigils he can speak, because he can speak all languages. Reading, Master of Mankind, seen in a holy vision while accompanying Lord Captain Pierre Cowles and living Saint Don Leteinia, I pass along a message of hope. All has come to pass is as it should be. This is his work, and I quote, we humans should be made to do hard work so that we are not to be made lazy. The last scene of him, he is not present, Pierre is given a transfer assignment paper from Choirmaster Stein Bether, from signed by Androchiron, asking to be put back to his old duties.
Okay, to return to the choir once more.
Because he's not needed anymore.
Yeah, food by intravenous injection.
I mean, food was nice for a while.
Back to the saline.
Living Saint Dawn Leteinia. Can you set us a scene for Dawn's future of how it looks?
Okay, first question. I have a question to all the players. How does each of you die?
This is reminding me of the question here. I was like, how would you like to be shot?
I mean, I think like Adrian goes out, on the bridge of a warship.
In a space battle.
Yeah, fighting the forces of chaos.
Okay, so just before you perish, you probably get some sort of communication or something like that from Dawn. It's probably just a message, right? It's just like text message. Like, you don't have to respond if you don't want to.
Sir, we're about to explode, but we're receiving an astropathic message. I'm decrypting it as fast as possible. It reads, F, U.
No, it's probably just probably something like along the lines of like you won't be like, just from Dawn, probably something like something like you won't be forgotten or something like that, right? You'll live, like your memory will live long after this, right? Something along those lines. What about you, Pondo? How do you go out?
I don't know, because so obviously Pierre is going to, after being from this kind of almost limelight situation of the forces they led, people back, he's probably going to kind of drift back into the shadows a bit in order to rebuild his forces again, to eventually, maybe not to be the Lord Solar, that to conquer the Calixis sector again, because who knows if that would actually happen. But I would probably imagine that he would either die on a ship or die on the field fighting.
I like to imagine that Dawn would probably be like actually physically with you when you die. Like she would probably stick around with you until you expire, and then she would, that's when she would move on to do the other stuff that she needs to do in the future.
Yeah, she has the whole family lineage to murder, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. But like, for the most part, she would probably want to see the final moments of every one of her companions if she can, to a degree. And what about Androchiron?
I think that depends on whether Pierre actually sends Androchiron back to the salt mines, or whether he has him continue to roam free.
Honestly, I think, knowing how good of an asset Androchiron is, he would probably let him do what he wants and then pull him in when he needs him, essentially. But if he wants to go back to his duties...
doesn't want to be hooked up to an IV drip and be used as a call center for the rest of his life, but that is his duty as he understands it.
So, okay.
But he's at the call of the captain. The captain is the one that makes these decisions.
From what it seems like in the notes, it looks like that he wants to go back to the choir.
He wants to die.
So okay.
It's service to the Imperium, but he wants to end the endless suffering of being a psyker in a world where being a psyker is incredibly hostile to your well-being.
He'll let him do that task, and then when he needs him for whatever reason, he'll pull him in.
You pull him out. It's like, I'm gonna need 3 weeks to adjust to solid food. Who's the
So
target?
I feel like Androchiron's mental death comes from like septicemia after some like bad poly food. He gets like an infected catheter tube.
Like he just ever wakes up or something like that one day. It's just like,
I mean, I think that Androchiron probably dies with the captain then.
okay.
Listen, we already had the scene, so we do that thing where they CGI me into the background really obviously.
You're slightly in front of someone, even though you should be behind them.
So we see Dawn always present for her companion's final moments in some capacity.
Yeah.
What's the moment for, like, not a final moment? What's the moment in Pierre's life in the future?
Obviously, he's going to have to report back to the
Inquisitor Lord.
Yeah, the Inquisitor Lord, the Casbalica. Is that right?
No.
Casbalica is the criminal organization.
Yeah.
No,
If you want to report back to them, that's your own business.
The Torrentine Cabal.
Yeah, the Tyrantine Cabal.
Yeah.
He would have to report back to them, let them know this is what happened. The Tesseract has been destroyed and will not be usable ever again. He'll try to make it as straightforward as possible about it, not explain the weird idiosyncrasies of it and the complications. I think he will actually, after that, attempt to secretly take over Footfall, since it's kind of under chaos and.
Yeah.
The plan we've had since season 1.
Essentially, yes.
Hey, listen, I could just mind control everyone there.
Pretty much, yes.
I can rewrite their memories so that they'll believe they've always been loyal to you.
So ideally, he would take control of Footfall and use that as a good base of operations for his gathering of contacts for the future. As for whether he would actually become Lord Solar or whatever, that's a bit.
The audience doesn't know. We never know.
Yeah, that's.
Let me ask one question: does Pierre Cowles continue the Cowles line? Does he have children?
I would imagine so at some point.
And what about? And does Adrian also?
Yep. Yeah, I think Adrian's future is what the Tesseract showed it to be.
Okay. So I'm going to give you one final scene. I started this campaign nearly 3 years ago with some box text, so we're going to end it with some box text. All right. 170 years later, we fade in on an alleyway somewhere in the Imperium. A dirty poster on the wall of the alley depicts a blonde-haired, square-jawed, gun-slinging hero with a cybernetic eye pointing at the viewer, Uncle Sam style. The caption below the image reads, "Even a man who has nothing to offer can still offer his life. Ask yourself, what would hero of the Imperium Lycos Centauro do?" The air in the alleyway ripples and a shimmering white portal tears its way into existence.
God.
You okay?
Lycos Centauro? Hero of the Imperium?
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
From the rented reality, the familiar form of Salandri Veilwalker, Harlock and Shadowseer, steps out into the alley. The portal closes behind her and she makes her way out into the street. The street beyond the alley is a scene of chaos. Imperial soldiers run in various directions. Urgent shouts of warning call out above the sound of distant gunfire and explosions. The sky above the city burns red in the aftermath of a void battle and is underlit below by the fires of the surface of the fortress world. The source of the panic becomes clear. A space station of Xenos construction, a black stone fortress, hangs in the sky at a natural angle. The leading edges facing the world burn with the fires of re-entry, and although the planet-cracking object is falling at incredible speed, this far away it looks like a calm descent towards doomsday. The panicked soldiers are reflected in the Shadowseer's mirror mask as she moves through the crowds. They don't seem to notice the alien amongst them, instinctively moving away from her as she moves towards the edge of the street, which forms a natural high bastion over a lower courtyard. Veilwalker looks down into the courtyard below. The battle there is ended. Bodies cover the ground like a macabre carpet. Chaos cultists, heretic Astartes, and loyal Imperial soldiers lay tangled together in a mess below. We zoom down to the courtyard to see what the Harlequin is looking at. The aftermath of the battle seems familiar somehow, like we've seen it before in another man's dream. A figure moves through the human debris. She is a woman. Her armor is of exceptional construction and clearly the sort of war gear available only to the most wealthy nobles. The woman's breastplate is marked with combat decorations and the rank insignia of a field commander. Despite her obvious noble lineage, there is no indication that she is not a worthy recipient of these awards and titles. Like the citizens of this world, her irises are an unusual purple color. And although she looks to be only about 40, she moves and carries herself with the experience of someone with more than a century of life behind them, sustained by expensive rejuvenate treatments. The woman looks at another figure off camera. That tech priest Call has found a way off-world, she tells this unseen second figure. He's summoning all of the survivors. The shields are down. Cadia is doomed, but her defenders will live on. Father, it's time to go. We pan around to see the figure the woman is talking to. His armor is cracked and broken from intense fighting. A suspensor-assisted heavy bolter hangs from his shoulder, its barrel buckled and twisted from the excess heat of continued fire. The man carries the weight of many years, in spite of the anti-aging treatments he's been given. His hair is grey and his face is pockmarked by age. Beneath the torn carapace of his armor, we see he wears a blood-stained shirt proclaiming, Ursakar E. Creed is the only Castellan we need. The man looks up at the burning fortress careening towards the surface of Cadia, then down at his hands, exposed from the damage of the gloves of his armor, hands calloused by age and covered in blood, both his and his enemies. 2 hands of human flesh. The man gives one more look to the horizon with an expression that conveys that somehow he knows he has defied the will of the gods yet again, and he turns to join his daughter. And
2 hands made of flesh.
2 hands
Could you
of human
imagine
flesh.
if you were a person that was like, I'm gonna read the last page of the book before just to see how it ends, and the first line you read is he had 2 hands made of human flesh. You'd be like, what the fuck is this book about?
Yeah, it's like you go like, oh my god, I'm gonna read this awesome story about this dude in the fall of Cadia, and then you get back to what actually happened.
Thanks for that, James. That was pretty good. There's an
What
alternate
an epilogue.
timeline, by the way, where Androchiron fakes messages from Lathe and continues to draw from her bank account. He's like a pension fraud thief.
Oh my god.
I told you I was going to meme.
Yeah,
he did.
that was what a
He
meme,
sure
dude. Holy shit. 2 hands of human flesh.
I'm surprised you didn't call the series finale like human flesh or something like that. Just a little cherry on top, you know?
No, well, it's called Fractal, named after one of Arthur's other games I played in. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't find a way to work Winter's Edge into the finale. Sorry, Arthur.
You didn't play in Winter's Edge, but you could have done that. It just would have been weird.
I've been the only one that would understand the reference.
I was in Winter's Edge, I think, right?
I don't think
Something
so.
like that.
It was
No.
a play
I
by
played
post.
it.
Ponda was there. He was there 3,000 years ago when the
I
ring
was.
was forged.
When the dark magic was written.
I thought you had
so
whatever. Don't matter.
I was saying it during the break when Arthur wasn't there, but I'll say it again. Obviously, this has been nearly 3 years in this game. Especially want to thank both Dave and Spoon for joining in partway through. I know that Dave feels like he sort of joined towards the end. He joined, I think, around episode 7 of.
Yeah, he joined at the beginning.
I went down. It was 83 sessions total. So.
Are you fucking kidding me? Good God.
Yeah, and it's only because those guys jumped in. We kept the dream alive, and we got to the end of this. So, but also obviously, thank Arthur and Pondo for sticking through the whole way, and Arthur letting me run rampant with Warhammer stuff in his channel and Discord and everything as well. So. I do know that Arthur's going to delete all record of this show, the moment that we go off the VOD,
I said I'm going to delete the overlay. Jesus. You do only have a week in both the cast channel and the channel on Discord.
Cast channel.
Yeah, meme as much as you can, bitches. It's going away.
Yeah.
2 hands of human flesh.
As long as we're thanking people, I want to thank Connor Hughes and Jimtopia, who are 2 viewers who have stuck with it because they don't watch BattleTech or like any of my other shows. This one's for you guys. James, incredible job.
Yeah.
You really made it seem like we were playing Dark Heresy the whole time. We did some trading and it was pretty rogue. We did some pretty rogue shit, like blow up a planet and maybe blow up another planet and
sell out an entire population to Tyranids,
Yeah, but then we blew the planet up.
Yeah. Well, theoretically.
Poor Adrian. Poor Adrian, the G still.
Yeah. Adrian Jr.
We were just so sad because you were dead.
Yeah.
So put it in perspective, when we started this game, I think only one of us was was a father, and now
yes.
3 of us are fathers when the game finishes.
Yeah,
and
yes, that's what happened.
One of us was a house owner, and now 4 of us are like.
Yeah. I think all of you are.
Yeah.
No,
we're all house owners now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I wasn't sure on Arthur's situation because I think he's always had the same situation since I've known him. So
I own my house.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't sure of that. So
James also owns his house. We know
But,
because
that's-
he's constantly doing stuff to it and then going,
That's-
so tell me about this wiring problem I've got. And I'm like, no.
Not an electrician.
Licensed to operate in Australia or America.
So what was the biggest thing that you think we missed, James?
I mean, you mean today or in the whole thing?
In the whole thing.
I don't know. Like it took a long while to steer the group back towards the stuff in the not Screaming Abyss, with the Dark Eldar. I mean, that was dropped really early on, and of course there was the whole thing. There was the whole storyline that you missed with the Eldar worlds that the other Rogue Trader went off and did instead, and you sort of picked up the pieces of later on. The Dread Pearl and that sort of storyline. But that was more filler.
I feel like that stuff though was mostly put on my shoulders, and it was like I didn't really know how to engage with that too much, mostly because I don't know how to work with the fiction. So I feel like that's mostly on me for not pushing the group to do that more. But like it's
so what's funny, Dave, is that when you joined this game, the only context I had for your playing style was what little I'd watched of the game with what was the game where you kept going repeating the timeline and changing things each time that Arthur's running?
New Game Plus.
New Game Plus, sorry, that's it, yeah. And I sort of saw the way you, because one thing I thought when I watched you play that game is you had a really good way of interacting with NPCs. So I wanted to give you an NPC-rich story, and then you happen to make a character who like didn't want to talk to anybody.
Okay, so let me clarify. I made a character that was supposed to be the fish out of water character, right? Like the character that doesn't know anything about the world because I don't know anything about the world. And what ended up happening was because I played the character correctly, right, the way that I designed her, when it came to doing conversations where like you guys were like, oh, such and such is doing this and blah, 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 I was just sitting there just being like, well, fuck, I don't have anything to add to this conversation. And that was pretty much like from the very beginning all the way until I sort of forced Dawn to be less passive in combat. And then after that, she kind of had her own place as being like an agitator more than a passive participant. But other than that, it was like, yeah, a lot of the NPC stuff was lost to me because I would be like, okay, I think I get this. And then, because it's a Rogue Trader game and to a degree, one person calls the shots as to where we go, like the stuff I had dealing with didn't seem as important as the other stuff going on. So yeah, that's kind of what happened there. Like normally I don't like to play passive characters too much, but like also let me put it in perspective. I thought, like, to me, it feels like I had 20 episodes. And now you're telling me I had like fucking 75 or whatever. Right? Like, to me, it's like I kind of sit here and I'm just like, man, like when I think about the arc that she had, like looking at it from like a grand scheme, it seems like a good character arc, but like in the minutiae of it, I would say I did get lost with a lot of like NPC, because there was a lot of it where it's like you guys would, like an NPC would show up and everyone would be like, and I'd be like, okay, who the fuck am I supposed to know who this person is? Like, yeah.
But it was a lot of fun last night going through and picking 4 enemies to bring back to life for the boss rush at the end.
Yeah.
I knew immediately when you was like,
Man.
you fought before they had fate. Okay, well, the orc war boss is going to be there.
Yeah. One and having Androchiron going up against what was her name, Mother whatever,
Mother
the psyker,
Echo.
where you couldn't, like, totally different battle, because I remember that battle being very difficult because we couldn't attack her.
There was one battle that sticks in my mind, though. There was, it was on the Dawn planet. I forget what it was called, but there was like we went to an old abandoned
The church.
building.
This was the battle with
Awesome.
Maribus,
Yeah, Maribus.
the Lord of Change. Yeah,
Yeah.
That was at the Obsidian Church out in Sephiroth Secundus.
So whenever I think of this game, I think of that fight and the one where
Icanthos, sorry, Icanthos. That's right.
yeah, and the other one that I think about was the one where we had a dude that was like a computer hacker or something. I think it might have been like
That was the War Priest. Yeah.
the war priest guy.
Koreb or
And you beat him with like a toaster or something like that. I remember it was like something stupid. You like hacked into a toaster or something, and it was
well,
like,
he was he controlled the guns with the toaster.
yeah, that's what
It wasn't a toaster.
it was a cash register.
It was a cash register.
Yeah,
for
cash
sale on the
register.
station.
But no, we killed
I
that
didn't
dude
do
because
that. Ivy did the targeting for me, and I did the shooting.
yes, but we killed that dude with Lucky 13.
Yes,
'Cause
I
I
used the
flown
gunship
down.
to take
Yeah.
down a man.
Yeah.
The one thing I wish he did more of was when you made the hair straightener jokes.
Oh my god. Yeah. The thermal lance.
I wish that happened more, to be honest, because that stuff is like super fascinating to me when you do shit like that. This is like, this light bulb as a relic is like, yep.
Yeah. This lost artifact of an ancient time.
A calculator.
Yeah, hold this holy relic. It's a TI-38.
It's a Nokia 3315.
I think it's probably more durable than most Space Marine armor.
But all in all, James, I had an excellent time. To put in perspective, the last time that I played Rogue Trader, it was literally a comedy game that was... We didn't care for the law or the rules, and we made an absolute mockery out of everything. So it was nice to do it the opposite way this time.
Well, if you do need more Rogue Trader, Owlcat's Rogue Trader game, I think they released the first gameplay trailer this week, and they finally announced details of the Collector's Edition. So it's all based in the Koronus sector, same worlds. So yeah, when that comes out sometime, probably in 2023, you can have some Rogue Trader action on your PC. And you won't have to worry about the blind test track because these guys already solved it.
That's right.
I want to share a single YouTube comment. Now, I've gotten several. Most recently, I got one that was like, you don't run enough Warhammer 40K on your channel. But 1 year ago, I received what I consider the greatest comment I've ever gotten about Warhammer 40K. And ironically, it was not on a Warhammer 40K video. It was on a Cyberpunk 2020++ video. Keller writes, Henley plays a big titty nun cop in Warhammer. Period.
Big titty nun cop.
I was surprised because I don't know that we ever discussed Dawn's physical appearance beyond her burns, but the fact that the audience had anime waifuified your character, and that was the most important thing about the game, was that Henley was in it and he was playing a big titty nun cop. That, for me, is a comment that has legendarily lived with me for an entire year.
I'm going to type big T non-cop into Novel AI's art generation program.
Oh boy, you're going to come out with a lot of problems, my friend.
What was it? The original guy that made the art for this game is making Inquisitor
Warhammer
train.
40K porn, yeah. Listen, if it works for Overwatch, it can work for Warhammer 40K.
His
If it works
Patreon's
for
pretty
Pokemon,
big,
it can work for Warhammer 40K.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what's next, Arthur? What's going on after this?
King Arthur Pendragon with Spoon and James and Gleemo on the 8th? December 8th, is that right? Let's look here. I literally just put it on the schedule, but then I closed the schedule. Is it the 11th?
Well, the 8th is a Thursday, so
Captain?
I'm going to just...
December 3rd.
Oh, 3rd, okay.
Session 0 is December 3rd. They all promised me that they could play on every day but Christmas Eve, which is unbelievable to me, but let's see if we can make a December launch happen.
Are you GMing, James? Or
I'm GMing.
You're GMing? Yeah.
This is the only
always...
game!
Pendragon is like, in my opinion, as a GM, it seems super intimidating. Like, yeah, because like there's no bullshitting. You follow the law. You follow the timeline, or you can.
I'm interested to see Arthur's take on it because I have watched Stephen Lumpkin. Is that your name?
Yes.
He's
Eric
one.
Bookers.
I haven't watched much of Eric's ones. I've watched
but if you've seen
one.
Stephen Lumpkin, I think Eric is in that one, right?
He is, that's right. Yeah, that's where I first came across Eric. And my own Pendragon game is very, very different. And it's partly because of different GM, different players. So once again, I've been able to see another take on how it is. I even checked out sort of one that used to guest starred in recently, Arthur, and that was once again quite different from the games I've watched or played. So yeah.
The first time I played a very dignified Gorlo, and the second time I played a hungover Gorlo.
Yeah.
All I know for that game is I guest starred on one episode, and the players and the GM were angry that I did it wrong. And I'm like, what do you mean I did it wrong? It's like, I don't understand that.
That was like 7 years ago, man.
Yeah. You were on that? I can't remember if you were on that or not.
Didn't you do it on my channel? Weren't you on one of mine for like one episode? No?
Yeah.
Were you talking about something different?
Was it with you and Silent Mage? I think it was.
Smooth Mage?
Smooth Mage, yeah.
You mean Dom?
Yeah, Dom.
Yeah, that was long time ago in the ancient days.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
It's midnight. It's turning into a pumpkin.
Yep, I'm about to turn into
6
a
a.m.
squash.
All right.
6 a.m. for me.
James, is there anything else we need to discuss?
No, that's fine. Okay, please do check out everyone on this channel's work on Twitter, on Arthur's Discord, on their own channel as well. Dave's got some fantastic games in his catalogue. Hondo has done some amazing Skyrim videos before his voice broke. Spoon and I regularly play Solasta with Arthur, so I'm sure you can find us around the traps. Even
Coming
without
soon.
you can still find us.
Big titty space cop, nun cop, whatever the fuck it was.
That's it. I mean, listen, when the Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader game comes out, the video game comes out, you have to play a big titty space cop captain.
There you go.
Yeah, there's no choice. That's it. Yeah, that's the character.
All right, closing thoughts. We're gonna go this way. James, final closing thought about the game.
Look, thanks everyone for being a part of it. Players, audience alike. I had a great time. This is an extension of multiple games I've run before. I got to wax lyrical with all my friends who played those different games, and they've get to have an influence on how this game worked. But I'm happy to say now that this plot line has been choked for every little bit of life I could pull out of it.
That's because all the other players are dead. You've killed all of their characters.
That's it. So
I
thank
tried
you
to
all
save
for being a part of it.
Thorne, man. I did my best. I
He's
don't know
not a
who
character.
played him, but I tried.
Not a character you want to save, nor a player, even that matter.
I tried. Spoon, what do you got?
It was fun to be a part of. This was it's been a long time coming. We did our best to distract ourselves from pursuing the main plot. But no, this was a ton of fun. It was really interesting to see all the threads pulling together towards the end, and coming up with 3 or 4 really, really terrible plans at the end. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad we made it all the way through.
I want to do mine immediately after Spoon's, because about halfway through this game, Spoon was getting pretty fatalistic about Adrian. He was like, it should be me. I don't have any purpose. I have no fate in life. I should be the one to die. And then he walks through a fucking door into negative space. And I was like, no, Adrian! We're going to have to name him Adrian Jr. now.
Honestly, when that happened, Spoon, I was like, I want to go with him so bad, but
Yeah.
this is like his thing. So I'll just let you do it. I was like, I'll let you go.
In the end, his power fists were pivotal to digging a hole. And closing that hole won the battle and also won the war. We literally could not have done it without you, because we saw what Oswald was rolling and it was not good. Pondo, what do you got?
It's been a definitely crazy ride from beginning to end, and the biggest twist, not the biggest twist, but it was like a major twist, was the fact that we had to miss in order to hit. That was
That's it. You have a whole campaign, and yours is one combat mechanic from the final episode.
It hurt my brain a lot this session, to be honest, because you have to put that in your head. But no, the funny, I find it funny, was that how Pierre suddenly, because okay, you have this great importance, and then just eventually was like, I'm just a taxi driver now. No, it's been a crazy ride, and it is towards the end there. I kept on trying to think and overthink it, and I'm like, maybe it's just as straightforward as it possibly can be.
Listen, Pondo, every single time that I've played a space captain in a role-playing game, you have to be the one that makes bad decisions for the whole group. You have to do it. Otherwise, your role in the group literally just becomes a make it so. You know what I mean? You have to do it.
No, I did. I'm pretty sure I've made many bad decisions in the span of the show.
Yeah.
But they were entertaining.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Yeah.
The
So
fun,
a lot of t-shirts.
Yeah. Another funny thing was when I first was like, all right, I got my melee build going on. I want to get in there, do good, and I fail completely and get just smashed.
I missed your response. Did you like the T-shirt on Nero?
I did. Urskar Creed is my castellan. Yeah, I caught that. I mean, listen, like a Santoro already knocked me off my guidance rockets. That shit was funny as hell.
Yeah.
So who is?
So
like
Santoro was
Hero
my
of the
character. Yeah, like
it was Pondo's character from Arthur's Wrath and Glory game.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That was mean. They didn't want to say he was an Inquisitor, but he got known but to the public. So I was like, okay, we'll just call him a generic, hero of the Imperium.
Gotcha.
So everyone was like, oh, it's like a Centaur, hero of the Imperium. So
yeah, it is.
It's funny because he didn't become hero of the Imperium until after the Dark Imperium existed, so
yeah.
I feel like there's an Ordo Kronos Inquisitor out there grabbing the poster.
I mean, you had that one plot line where the one came back.
Yeah, there was an Ordo Kronos Inquisitor showing up who was like, this is not how time's supposed to be, guys. Amazing. Got anything else, Pondo? Hero of the Imperium?
I don't know. I know it's going to be figuring out what I want to do next. I got a couple ideas, like maybe doing Cyberpunk Red.
Full
One sec.
replay of Kingdom Hearts
I don't think so.
with director's commentary.
I don't even know if they have that. It'd be in
Co-op
Japan.
Skyrim.
That is a possibility. That is a possibility. But no, it's going to be me figuring out what I want to do next as far as project or whatever.
That's it, Dave. Your last final thoughts.
It's good to know that James let me build an immortal character, which is fun.
So you were literally stopped by copies of yourself that told you were not immortal. You had a finite number of lives.
Doesn't matter. The finite number of lives can be as long as it needs to be, right? So, James, if you ever use her again, let me know. I would. I'd love to know what happens. Add me to the email stub that you send all the players that get reused. But yeah, I don't know. It was a fun game, and I think I'll take a break from Warhammer for a while. You guys don't mind. But yeah, I don't know. Go buy my shit, I guess. I don't know when I'll be on an Arthur. Yeah, I don't know when I'll be on Arthur's channel again. So we'll find out. So yeah,
You'll be on the Discord to tell people that their thumbnail background colors are too light.
Oh my god, couldn't read shit. Anyway.
All right, what is that? The stream ending screen? Oh my gosh! Wow, it's so weird. What's happening?